What's up, guys? It's Atola. I cannot figure out how to like place the video or like kind of angle the video so I don't look like a fucking potato. But man, fuck it, bro. Let's just make this video. So, anyways, guys, it's Atola, and I wanted to visit something before I go to sleep. Now it is late, so I can't really speak super loud. But I'm gonna just express myself, and well, that actually lends to the theme of this video and the well, the reason I'm kind of making this video, I found something recently, and that something is that you know, when like flirting with girls or like interacting socially, people will often uh they want to kind of see to kind of place you like in the social hierarchy. They're looking to see how freely you express yourself, and sometimes uh that kind of free expression it can be polarizing. It can be, how would I say it, like sort of not politically correct. Like in other words, what I'm saying is that I've recently found that it's very good to express yourself, and it's very good to just say what's on your mind and be unhinged in a sense, and try your best just not to have a filter, because that is like you. And especially for guys, I realize there's this kind of dynamic where um deep down, I guess you're not really we're not like good people, like in a sense, and so this kind of idea of being polite and making sure that you don't take up too much space, making sure that you don't offend anyone, it's not a good thing, and I found this weird kind of dynamic with myself, that the more polarizing I am and the more disagreeable I am and the more kind of almost like it's not about being aggressive in a sense. And guys, everything I'm going to talk about has nothing to do with like your physicality. It's more about your presence and your kind of your will to do what you want to do, instead of like kind of doing what you think is socially acceptable, essentially. So in essence, what I'm saying is that you will get more out of life when you express yourself without filtering through like morality or any type of construct. So the reason why this is the case is because essentially, um, especially like women have an understanding that people are dynamic, and also like these kind of moral stuff, they were built so that we have like civilizations that don't you know fall into anarchy. That's true. However, we still have these kind of non-rational parts about us. Like, for example, flirtation is super irrational, and if you're a guy who gets into his head and starts thinking like, well, what is the like correct thing to do? Usually, you'd be quite bad at that, you know. And a lot of stuff that happens between men and women is like a super irrational thing, right? It's more instinctual, it's more animalistic, and this is kind of what I'm getting at. But I found this thing is kind of transcends just like sex and relationships, and it goes into different areas of life. So I had this thing in my mind, and I was just thinking, oh, like, so I went to the skate park, right? And I was in the Canary Islands recently. I just came back from a holiday, and I went for a skate. um, I had smoked like a zoo the day before. I just went to sleep, so I was feeling a little bit like less anxiety, a little bit more calm in general. But also, I had this thing in my mind of like I'm going to take up as much space as possible, like whilst I'm skating, which sounds a little bit odd, but essentially uh, what it did is that it allowed me to feel free in my body. And I'm gonna kind of go into like what like how that skate session was, but like essentially, man, I told myself that I was gonna take up space intentionally, and I also told myself that I'm going to express myself however I feel in a certain scenario. And bro, there was a time where like I expressed myself in a way that was like, I guess you could say negative, but it didn't matter because it was human, I guess, and it was like authentic. And I can explain what happened, but like basically I was skating and there was this certain obstacle I was trying to skate and I was trying to air out basically. It was this kind of ridge, like ramps on both sides, and I just wanted to air out and kind of learn how to do that. And like some kid was like skating it, and you know, many people have been skating it at a time. I just kind of wanted to get the trick, and without even thinking, like, and I almost like regretted it. I was like, I just want him to get the fuck out of the way. Now that sounds really mean, but I apologized after. I was like, I'm sorry. I was kind of like, I was really focused on the trick, and I just wanted to get it. So I just kind of like, I just kind of blurted it out. But ultimately, like, he didn't really care, and like, it kind of made me think, like, uh, number one, he didn't care, and number two, he kind of is in a weird way. I guess he appreciated it because it was authentic, and it was kind of like, it was just I was just expressing like basically that I wanted to use the obstacle. But the point I'm trying to really get across is that your like expression and stuff like that. But also I wanted to also say that bro, that skate session in general was super good. It was like super good. And I was kind of if the way I was skating, it felt like I was a big like animal in, in a sense. Now, obviously, I don't know if I said this in past videos, but I'm close to about 6 foot. I'm a little bit under, so I am like a big human. But I guess my kind of politeness and the way that I was kind of again socialized was like you know it's not socially acceptable for me to like essentially embrace that or express like yeah. But yeah, that's what I was doing, man. And so I was skating in a way where it was like I was letting my legs like flail out a little bit more, and like the tray flips they were just hitting different, bro. Basically, the kick flips were hitting different. I was doing like 50-50s on like both sides. um I was doing a couple board slides on this kind of rail, and what else was I doing? Just a bunch of tricks, man. And I felt very free is the point. And I had no kind of message or notion in my head that like I shouldn't skate the way I was skating, which was it was just big. Like I was just taking up space. Pardon me. Um, I was airing out and like, did I mention that I'm super sick? I'm super sick right now, so that's why like if I'm coming across as like a little bit weird or like squinting a lot, it's because like my eyes are like essentially have like some kind of hay fever. It's not a hay fever, it's like a flu that I think I caught on the plane. But aside from the point, yeah, essentially it's that. And with girls, I notice that a lot. Like women have extremely high emotional intelligence, and they can tell when you're holding something back. They can tell when you're not being as unhinged and as like. I noticed that with flirtation, like girls want to see that kind of side of you where you're like a little bit. You just loosen up. Basically, is what I'm saying. Like loosen up, stop thinking. Again, allow your voice to project a little bit more. And that's not about like shouting. It's just about like being relaxed enough that you're not like muting your own voice and lowering the volume because you feel like you feel like the pressure of society or whatever. Someone's gonna feel like you're doing the wrong thing, and that's it, man. Uh, so I just wanted to make this video by, you know, and a lot of different scenarios had happened where it was kind of this whole Breaking Bad type of theme where it's like, bro, sometimes like it's not about like just being a good boy with the time. Like sometimes you just gotta like really integrate the shadow and like whatever type of, even with flirting, man, is that thing as well where it's like um you can integrate like a shadow where it's like you're super like sexually attracted to this person, and you kind of, you know, if obviously if it's mutual and if she's like into it, you can kind of bring that side out and you don't need to like feel ashamed or feel like it's inappropriate, is what I'm saying. And it's more a case of just being free, in every scenario. And like, again, yeah, socially, people will respect you more when you stop being so polite to them. Like, just say what's on your mind, even if it's like, even if you're being an asshole sometimes. And I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll just touch on a couple more things. But a lot of the time, like, I found these kind of weird dynamics where if you pay attention to stuff like this, like how polite you're being, and alternatively, like how, I guess, um, how, uh, how, how polite versus how, what's the word for when you say, but how blunt you're being. Once you start to kind of like look at the relationship between how like blunt you're being versus how polite you're being, I see this dynamic also where people will like serve you in a sense, or like they'll feel like they have to serve you if they notice that you're like someone who doesn't care much about being polite. Because the whole being polite thing is like a slave mentality. It's like a someone who's like serving someone, you know. And yeah, basically all this to say is that like the way you carry yourself socially is, it goes into like the way people, I guess, perceive you. And it's a whole bunch of stuff about like social status, power, and blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter. It's a little bit lame as well. Like I am aware of how like kind of lame all this stuff is, but it's just good to know because it's like useful. It's just a tool, right? But yeah, man. It's good to freely express yourself. Like, I guess is the message. Yeah, and it's been a Tola signing off. Keep seeing this like girl commenting under my videos. Um, what's up? I think her name's like Heavenly or something. What's up? How are you? Hope you enjoying the videos. Uh, stop stealing my accent. I don't even know what you're doing. Like that shit sounds so fucking stupid, mate. And like, go back to your Vancouver accent.